Yes, guys, welcome, 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 welcome. We are indeed in the building, guys. Of course, your boy's here. I'm waiting for you guys to come in, man. We're gonna have an interesting one, of course, with none other than Mr. Delbert Paris, of course, another Marigot. It's interesting, guys. A number of persons have been saying, Miss Leaks, you need to react to the female one. I forgot her name, the female senator of Marigot as well. She had some powerful things to say, guys. And of course, it'll be very interesting to see what she has to say as well. If you guys want me to do a reaction on that, we can definitely get that happening. But guys, we're going to be waiting for a number of you guys to come in. But it's also interesting. Oh, my settings is kind of going crazy right now. So let me see if we can bring that down. Okay, because we don't want the settings to go haywire on us. Are we good? Yes, guys, we're coming up. But welcome to another one, guys. Welcome once again. Six Conquer. Why isn't this thing updating though? I see 6 of you guys in the group. Why is it so slow? I'm not sure why. But are you guys able to hear me? If you are, let me know that as well. Okay, yes. So people can actually hear me. Big up, brothers and sisters. Big up yourself, man. Sometimes individuals ask me, Mr. Leaks, why do you always say brothers and sisters, man? Because we are a family, man. You guys are my brothers and my sisters out there. So we are indeed one big happy family. Kind of reminds me of is it Bear in the Big Blue House or something of that sort? I don't know. But guys, we are definitely a family, man. And of course, big up to the individuals who are in the building already. Hopefully I'm not sticking. Am I sticking, guys? If you guys see me sticking, let me know that in the comment box below. Why is this thing turning? Live chat. Hopefully this thing is going well. It's back down again. I'm not sure why. But yeah. Welcome, guys. Welcome. And of course, there's something. Oh, I saw a video of F. Gordon. Big up yourself one time. Good evening to you as well. Where are you watching from? Is the live stream going okay? Is it fine? Is it buffering? Let me know in the comment box in the live chat as well, because on my end it's going good, but I'm seeing this thing kind of turning. I'm not sure what's going on here, but hopefully everything is going good. Are you seeing me clearly? It said excellent connection. So are you guys seeing me clearly right now? I'm gonna switch over to my face. But I saw a video of Obanga, man. Obanga did a video on Lafon, and let me see if I can get it for you guys to see, because I think that was a definite banger right there. Okay, there it is. Let me see if it's on YouTube or on Facebook, whichever would be fine as well. Yes, guys. Yes, all is going well with the system. Okay, great. Thanks so much for responding. F. Gordon, where are you watching from? To me, this is the first time I'm seeing that name. I'm not sure if you have multiple accounts, but this is the first time I'm seeing that name. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Okay, it says it's clear on my end, but for some reason it's saying it's not receiving. It says stream status is poor. New York. Okay. Let me just put the double screen on myself. Let me know if you guys are seeing me clearly. How many of you guys are in the building? There's 14 of you guys. Stream health. Okay. But I'll just show you what I'm talking about right there. The Obanga video is pretty crazy. No doubt about it. Okay, let me put this on this thing so you guys can see it as well.
Hold on, wait, we hit gold. Hold on, we hit gold. Yeah, oh my God, we hit gold. Yeah, everything lit, that's on my soul. Cause we hit gold. Hold on, I'm a champion, G pass that medal cause I never settle my G. D hot like a candle, if they never heard, they gon' hear about we. We got a torch, it's lit, it's lit. This one for the young, elite. Light up the city like big, yeah. Watch how we up the stakes. Try to keep up, we can't lose, we be running like Thea. Open the gates, cause we up. Got no time for the hate, they beat up. 767 the code, I put that on my back like a t-shirt. I'ma say it again for the back of the bleachers. We hit gold.
Hey, they must rock that.
We hit gold.
Yo,
Yeah.
they must rock that track. Hey, that track nice. What? We hit gold, guys. Of course, this is Obanga right there doing his thing. Of course, showing some love to Thea. A tribute to Thea LaFawn. Obama, Thea. A tribute to Thea LaFawn. We hit gold, man. Let me rock that again, man. I like that. With the national anthem in the beginning. Give this a thumbs up, guys.
Hold on, wait, we hit gold. Hold on, we hit gold. Yeah, oh my God, we hit gold. Yeah, everything lit, that's on my soul. Cause we hit gold. Hold on, I'm a champion, G pass that medal cause I never settle my G. D hot like a candle, if they never heard, they gon' hear about we. We got a torch, it's lit, it's lit. This one for the young, elite. Light up the city like big, yeah. Watch how we up the stakes. Try to keep up, we can't lose, we be running like Thea. Open the gates, cause we up. Got no time for the hate, they beat up. 767 the code, I put that on my back like a t-shirt. I'ma say it again for the back of the bleachers. We hit gold. Hold on, we hit gold. Yeah, oh my God, we hit gold. Yeah, everything lit, that's on my soul.
Check track, boy. Hey.
Hold on.
Yo, big up Obanga on this one, man. I think they should use that song, man. They should use that song. I think they're probably planning for her to have some motorcade or something of that sort. Hopefully, they actually try to do something for her. Because I think it'll only make sense that they actually do something for her. She won gold for Dominica, putting Dominica yet again on the map. This time in a positive light. I think the last time Dominica was on, well, I can think of a number of times Dominica was actually on the world scene. Of course, I remember Hurricane Marigot was on the world scene. That was one of the biggest where we were put on the world scene again. Of course, there was a number of things that was happening during that time. Of course, persons were trying to reach out and all these kind of things that was taking place. So that was another aspect. Of course, we know about the situation involving the individual who created the what do you call that again? The special effects, utilizing some sort of machine. Of course, we know about the Soufriere situation that have also put Dominica on the map. Not in a positive light at all. You know, it's interesting. Dominica was known across the world for Hurricane Mario in that situation of, the hurricane destruction and Ross University and the American students and this kind of things there, seeking help. Dominica was on the map again for, that situation that took place with the individual Daniel and of course Jonathan, the alleged murderer, of course, who was there. And of course Dominica was put on the map again, this time with Thea LaFawn. Dominica's put on the map a number of times. I can think of the situation that involved the CBI program. Of course, this was not in the good light at all. By the way, guys, my voice is kind of a little hoarse. I was belting vocals last night. I got some fans still for individual who wanted to hear my music and stuff, but I was, belting vocals last night, and as a result, my voice sounds like this. So you guys can bear with me right there. Maybe some of you guys don't even notice the difference, but it is what it is, guys. But I just want to say I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here right now. We have what 10, 20 individuals. I'm just gonna wait for a little bit more before I can get into the vibrations for the individuals coming in. I'm actually gonna be doing a reaction of none other than Mr. Delbert Paris, one of the Marigot senators. Of course, we heard that he was a powerful speaker at the national Dominica national budget debate on July when was it? July 2024. That was last month, and he had a lot of interesting, powerful points, and of course, I think I need to point it out right there. When there is nonsense being posted all over social media, guys, that's a sad thing, because when I try to post videos of people actually doing well, it never really gets all that traction, so to speak. People like, okay, whatever, somebody did well, that's nice, that's great. But when you see there's like little turmoil or something of that sort, what did he do? Oh my goodness, people always tend to tune into that kind of vibrations. But I have to give him some shout out. I don't care if much people don't show up for this one, but I definitely want to put this out there because he had some very, very powerful insights into the things that he was saying, and of course holding the government accountable. That's what the opposition is supposed to do. The opposition is not there to build you a house, for you to say, oh, the opposition did not build me a house, so I'm not going to vote for them. That's not what the opposition role is at all. The opposition role is to hold those individuals who are making claims of doing certain things and they are not doing it, hold them accountable. And if they are not making or holding their position, the opposition then has to come to whom? The people. But it's interesting that that is not the trajectory that seems to be happening. People want oppositions to build houses for them to vote for them. That is the craziest part. But of course, Mr. Delbert Paris had some very, very powerful things to say. And I think that we should definitely pay attention to what he has to say right there. Of course, guys, don't forget to thumbs up this video. I would appreciate that. Click the like button. And of course, there's also super chats and stuff that you guys can give if you want to support the channel. There's a number of, there's super chats, there's super stickers, and of course giftings that you can actually do if you want to send a contribution. It's like right there on the thing. I know a number of individuals have sent some stuff in the past, but of course don't forget, if you want to support this channel and support what I do, you can definitely do some sending of super chats and super stickers and this kind of things there. So that is something that will actually help this here channel. Of course, Animation Horizon, big up yourself one time. Karen Roach, big up yourself one time. It's been a minute since I've seen you, man. I ain't gonna lie. Actually met some individuals last night, man, and they were Mr. Dick's family, and they were telling me, or some of them will tell me where they met me before and this kind of things there. I'm like, guys, man, guys, it's not like I'm feeling like highty-tighty or none of that stuff. It's just that when I go out there, I tend to meet a lot of you guys, man. A lot of you guys, man. I was even comparing one time St. Martin to New York, or St. Martin to Texas, because the amount of people that tends to watch my videos all over the place, man, it was absolutely insane. I'll never forget when this guy this guy met me in St. Martin. He's like, don't move. He didn't say nothing. He's like, don't move. I think I was getting a stick up or something, man. The guy went for his wife, man, to say, hey, he saw Mr. Leaks. That's the person you always watch. Even then, where was it? In St. Kitts. In St. Kitts I was, guys. What I was talking about was in St. Martin. In St. Kitts, I actually put it on the vlog where an individual came up to me and said, Mr. Leaks, I'm fed up with you, man. I'm fed up with you every night. My wife is just watching you day. Actually, I have this on the vlog right there. And that was pretty cool, no doubt about it. Of course, I met some individuals yesterday, and man, big up. But yo, you guys don't know how much that means to me, man. Because sometimes, you're talking to a phone, you're talking to a camera, you're like, okay, this is, where it goes. And then you see the views. You see the views, you don't really see the people. But when you see you go out there, guys, sometimes you're in a place. I went to Canada, and I was chilling with my cousin. We were going to cross the border to go into Canada and for us to do some stuff there. And while we were there, we were just chilling in the Niagara Falls, man. And we were just walking, and then there was this guy saying, Mr. Leaks, can you imagine? Can you imagine? You live all the way. You're saying, great, it's New York. That's the place that knows me, the most. And then Houston, Texas. Well, not just Houston, but Texas. These places are the ones that know me the most. But I'm on the border of the United States, between the United States and and America, and this guy just comes up and say, Mr. Licks, bro, what are you doing? I also have it on the video as well. There've been a number of times, guys. Sometimes I tend to put people on the video, sometimes I don't. But it's just rather interesting when you get to see people, meet the real people who actually watch you, man. Interact with you and say, Mr. Licks, we appreciate what you do, and despite the odds, because I could have been doing something different. I mean, I have my US channel that I tend to do stuff on, but I this interaction, I kind of like these interactions, guys, because I get to share my feelings, my thoughts, my feelings, get to share my thoughts, forget about feelings, because sometimes feelings change. We have to use logic in that fact right there. I think that is very much important when it comes down to life. Using logic, brothers and sisters, when I see certain things, so we can make sense out of nonsense. I remember the former president, one of the former presidents, Obama, in his one of his speeches, he was saying that there will come a time where so much things will be bombarded on the people, they will not know what to believe. So much information. This news is saying this one, this news is saying this one, people are just bombarding you with information that might counteract the other one. And then he said there will come a point where people will be bombarded with so much information they would not know what to believe. Well, you can always look not just at what people say, because sometimes people have their own agendas. The media companies tend to have their own agendas, but there's objective reality that you can look at. Just like today, I did a reaction on the basis of, there was some agricultural paper that went out stating that in 2020, Dominica dished out about 250 million. Is it 250 million or 150 million? No, 250. $250 million worth in agriculture, according to the GDP of Dominica. And you tend to wonder, but that doesn't make sense at all. How does that make any sense at all? Because when bananas were booming, we made about 200 million. We went down to about 120, 80 million was the lowest, I think. And then it was around that region, okay? That was when bananas were booming, so you had constant money flowing into Dominica. Now we don't have that. And now on that paper, it's telling you that we distribute at the peak, not the peak, well, the beginning stages of the Rona situation, but they're telling you that we made $250 million to the GDP. I mean, come on. Objective reality tells you that that's a lie, and it's important to know the truth. We don't base the truth on our feelings. This is one of the reasons why people tend to listen to me, because I don't base the things that I'm saying on and sometimes, guys, I might know the truth, but just for me to debate or have a level of debate, what I tend to do is ask questions. I might know the truth, I might know what's taking place, but I will ask questions. Hey guys, we say this, okay, why is this happening? What happened there? What was the cause of this happening? This kind of things there, so we can formulate our own opinions, man. I might give my views on some things here and there, but I pretty much ask questions, and I think that is much vital in this day and age, because so much information is bombarding us. But first thing we must look at is objective reality. Look at objective reality and see if what somebody is saying is true. Sometimes you might not have all the information true, but objective reality is your first step. How on earth we saying agriculture is doing the best, and then you're seeing what is happening? Where we getting $250 million? We getting $250 million and the economy is going down like that. We know most of the money came from CBI. We know that it's a fact. CBI is where the monies came in. Maybe they're trying to allocate and say, okay, put some money from CBI into agriculture. That would make sense, but it's agricultural benefits that they're applying money to something that is not producing. And then they want to make some fake thing and say, hey, look, the money. No, brothers and sisters, we have to see the output. Accounting is very important. Just like Scarrett said in 2019, he's going to embarrass Lennox Linton. You're going to embarrass Lennox Linton, that's great. But where's the accounting since 2019 to 2024 on the basis of the CBI program? So when people come and say a number of things, they're not really saying much. I did a reaction today on a very Blackmore. Blackmore claimed that, fish he sit down by the bay and fish hitting him in his head. I'm sure that nobody saw that. He might be exaggerating. But the point is, he made a claim stating that they're going to be bringing some big fridge containers to hold his fishes. And when you ask, where is these containers? Nobody knows where they are. So it's just to say nice things, brothers and sisters, versus objective reality. Or ministers say they're going to be bringing containers to hold fish. Great, nice. 5 years pass and we haven't seen that yet. And you mean to tell me you will still believe that that person, when they come again to say that's what they're going to be doing, you're going to believe them? Really, brothers and sisters? I mean, there's something called lying, you know. I mean, come on. That is a known fact right there. Anyways, guys, don't forget to click the thumbs up. I think I talk a lot. Let me just play the video one more time for you guys. The Obanga video. I think that is a pretty nice video. You guys should check it out and share it as well. We're gonna run this. Yes, sir.
Hold on, wait, we hit gold. Hold on, we hit gold. Yeah, oh my God, we hit gold. Yeah, everything lit, that's on my soul. Go, we hit gold. Hold on, I'm a champion, G pass that medal, cause I never settle my G. D hot like a candle, if they never heard, they gon' hear about we. We got a torch, it's lit, it's lit. This one for the young, elite. Light up the city like big, yeah. Watch how we up the stakes. Try to keep up, we can't lose, we be running like Thea. Open the gates, cause we up. Got no time for the hate, they beat up. 767 the code, I put that on my back like a t-shirt. I'ma say it again for the back of the bleachers. We hit gold. Hold on, we hit gold. Yeah, oh my God, we hit gold. Yeah, everything lit, that's on my soul. Go, we hit gold. Hold on.
That's a nice song, man. Big up Obanga on that song right there. For those of you who don't know what it's called Obanga Thea. I think you should call it really gold, and then it's a tribute to Thea right there. But of course, kudos to Obanga on that one right there. Anyways, guys, we're gonna get into the vibrations that we want to definitely check out today. Let me just see what you guys have to say right there. Animation Horizon, love the rap video. Yeah, the CBI things need to be cancelled. It not gonna work. Okay, well, the CBI is working. It's just that the money is being used for CBI is not being allocated properly. I think that is the biggest problem that we have in Dominica. And of course, there's no transparency and accountability factor for it. So you don't really show how much money is being made, how much money should come to Dominica, because all should come to Dominica. It should come to the consolidated fund. But of course, you know, nobody seems to want to do things. Like I indicated earlier on, brothers and sisters, I don't think people understand what the opposition role is. The opposition role is to hold the government accountable. When the government does not want to listen to the opposition comes to the people, and the people hold their servants accountable. But apparently in this day and age, that doesn't seem to be the factor at all. It seems like the servants have become the masters. When you look at this day, the world, how the world is working, brothers and sisters, trickery all over the place. Just like in the United States, you're seeing all kinds of illegal voters coming in, about 15 to 20 million illegals coming in, and we think, oh, the election is going to be free and fair. Really? Brothers and sisters, in Dominica, you see a set of planes coming. It's the same set of thing that is happening in the United Kingdom. It is the same thing that is happening there, an influx of illegals coming in. And we wonder why certain things happen does not reflect the will of the people. The people need to take a stand. That is the only way things can happen. Even in Germany right now, brothers and sisters, there's crazy, boy, human beings, they just caught up in their own lives and not realize what is happening to them. You mean to tell me we are so distracted that we have no clue what is happening to us, guys? Come on. Wake up, man. Wake up. Anyways, let me see. Jerry Nelson, blessed night, everyone. Mistakes, you always on cue. After all, you know, it's there already. Big up Jerry one time. 40 people watching, 10 thumbs up. Yeah, man. There's 45 people now. Guys, come on. Click the thumbs up button, please. I have to be saying please for you to click the thumbs up button because it's free. You guys are something else, man. Guys, click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that right there. I know some of you guys are watching on your televisions. You have me on the big screen. Big up. It's always good to be on the big screen, but I would appreciate that you also click the thumbs up button right there. Anyways, guys, without further ado, let us get into the vibrations for today right now, man. Okay, let's get back to this.
I recognize Senator Paris. Yeah, you may proceed, Senator.
Mr. Harvey Coleman.
Some brief remarks. Promise not to be too long. Brief remarks on the.
Where are they going, man? Are they not going to listen to what he has to say? To me, when the other side was speaking, there was a lot more people. And now that the opposition is speaking, I'm seeing empty chairs, bro. What is going on, man?
The estimates before the House. Mr. Speaker, I want to talk about the process for a little bit. With your indulgence, Mr. Speaker, are we supposed to be using this book, this schedule of estimates here? We're supposed to be using this. This is what we're approving, right? I think the process
so
is,
Mr. Speaker don't answer any man? Huh? He don't answer any man?
is for us to come here, be involved in a process where we are expecting our leaders to tell the citizens of Dominica and the people who are expected to visit here and come and work and so on, what the plans are for the upcoming fiscal year. Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, permission to refer to my notes from time to time.
Your permission granted.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're expecting to hear things, activities, plans, projects, strategies that's going to propel our economy forward. Plans that are going to be backed by financial allocations that we're expected to approve. And Mr. Speaker, why I'm taking the time to go through this is because I want to remind the listening public that even if it sounds like it, it's not supposed to be a campaign.
Facts.
It's not supposed to be a political campaign. I know it sounds like it, but be patient. It's really not a political campaign because, Mr. Speaker, I sit here and I hear a number of the members, ministers and senators talking about a lot of things that are not provided for in the schedule of estimates. They're not provided for. I come in. Mr. Speaker, it seems to be there's a struggle to do any kind of transparent performance review of what happened with the budgetary allocations from the last fiscal period. What did they do with it? What were some of the challenges? What happened? Mr. Speaker, I listened to the Minister of State in the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports and Community Development saying plenty things. And Mr. Speaker, it was very, very strange to me because he didn't take the time to mention that in that public sector investment program, in the schedule that he had, 21 items. Out of 21, 19 of them had zero spending. Nothing. $25 million allocated to that ministry for youth, culture, and community development.
Of course.
Only $929,000 spent. 4%. Sit there and talk.
Guys, by the way, I have the budget estimates. I have it there for 2024, 2025. But I'm also going to see if I can get the one for 2023 to 2024 right there. Because one of the reasons why I asked if the budget, and I literally asked this, guys, I asked if the budget is a gimmick, because it seems like we are calling for budget to allocate certain monies for some things, and it's just not there. You know, they put the money, they say $15 million for agriculture, brothers and sisters, 15 million. Ask you how much is used, not all 15 million. It seems like most of that money, 2/3 of that money gets allocated elsewhere. So it's interesting when you look at this budget thing, and I think it's a gimmick right there. I swear it's a gimmick, guys. As you can see, I have this stuff. Oh, it's not fully. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. You guys are not seeing. Okay, you guys are not seeing the full thing. This is the 2024, 2025 one. Let me post it in the chat so you guys can get it yourself.
For more than an hour and had nothing to say about it. Mr. Speaker, it is an offense to the people of Dominica.
Facts.
Particularly the young people. Because how can you have nothing to say about that? There may have been challenges.
Guys, you hear what he say? There was money allocated for youth. ask you how much is spent for youth, nothing. But they will come on stage and say, hey guys, we have 40 youth. Scared to come and tell you, oh, there's a track that will be coming soon. Not true. Boy, I tell you, Dominicans, all you have to wake up here, because that is mind-boggling stuff to me. I could be wrong, but that is definite mind-boggling stuff for me. Are you allocating money for youth and you're not spending the money for the youth? Yet still we see in the office of the Prime Minister's budget increasing though, even though that's not what's allocated at the end of the time. More money is coming to him. Very interesting.
A man's
say that. Why are they not giving any kind of transparent performance review so that the people of Dominica can build trust in their ministers? Maybe someone will take up the challenge, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, under the recurrent expenditure, there are lots to talk about here, but we expect the ministry, we expect the public service to continue to run. We expect salaries to be paid and emoluments and pensions and the general operations of the public service. Mr. Speaker, we expect the teachers to go back to work, and we expect them to be paid, whether they're paid on time or not. We expect the public, we expect the police, the nurses and the administrative staff across all the ministries to show up for work, whether they benefit from any of the increases or not. They will show up, Mr. Speaker. Dominica have good people. Mr. Speaker, we expect that the people who are no longer able to work and have retired from the public service, we expect them to get paid lawfully without having to beg on their knees for it.
Social security, man. And the thing is, guys, I don't think one of the reasons why I tend to look at the outside world, guys, is because I'm noticing a lot of similarities. For example, one of the things I was mentioned is the illegals going to the United States, illegals going to the United Kingdom, the illegals going to Germany. And it seems like there's a concerted effort to kind of tilt the scale against the very citizens of the country. Another one, brothers and sisters, is social security as well. We know that there's a problem in social security in the United States as well, which means that there seems to be some sort of person at the top that is leading the scope while they are doing the same thing in different countries. Tell me I'm wrong. In 2033, brothers and sisters, you know the United States will be in problem with their social security, right? A lot of people in the United States don't know this because they don't seem to pay attention. Oh, I don't care what is happening outside there. Politics is not my business, brothers and sisters. Politics is a way of life. It's policies that are put in place. And when people do not pay attention to the policies that are put in place, I just remember certain things back in the day when government officials used to try to put their own policies in. They tried to put their own policies in, and the government officials would not be able to go at the home unless they take it out, because it was not beneficial to the people at all. So that was back then, brothers and sisters. Today, we just allowing everything to happen. And these are policies that are working against the people. 2033, the United States will have serious problems with their social security. Brothers and sisters, we are complaining about that in Dominica. Look, he's talking about the very thing right there. Not even understanding if you will be able to succeed after working hard. Sometimes they make social security mandatory for you to pay. It seems like they're making social security mandatory to pay them, and then the government can just get to use it how they want. And it's interesting that the government get to use it how they want, and the very people have to pay it back. So in other words, you are putting money for social security via your job. The government then takes that money. You think it's the government that have to make back that money? Brothers and sisters, the people have to pay it back in taxes. So they're taking out your money, they're using it how they want. If they squander it, or they're making money for themselves. And then the very people have to pay it back. The same thing with the banks. You save your money in the bank. Boy, people, human beings, all you just don't know what is happening to all you. My goodness. Boy, brothers and sisters, please share this video. Please share this live. Please share this live so other people can get this vibration, because I'm going to be speaking nothing but facts here. Okay? The government is using your money in the bank. You save up your money in the bank. The bank is providing loans for the government. Who do you think has to pay back these loans, brothers and sisters? They are passing it back to you. So we live in a constant cycle. You saving your money, government is using your money. Boy, there will come a time where right now the banks don't even want to give government money. So there will come a time when these kind of things, there will be in problems, brothers and sisters. Anyways, let's continue.
Mr. Speaker, under the Public Sector Investment Program, according to the Minister of Finance, the growth in Dominica is expected to have, will be driven by the government's strong public sector investment program. Very good. This is where, Mr. Speaker, we're expecting to see some new activity. A new investment implementation that is expected to create opportunities for national growth, particularly in our productive sectors: agriculture, infrastructural development, education, culture, public works, and the digital economy. So let's look at infrastructure for a little bit. Mr. Speaker, at the international airport, we hear that construction is at a steady pace. As a matter of fact, Mr. Speaker, we're supposed to be ahead of time.
Of course.
So obviously, it wouldn't be far-fetched to expect that you will see increased activity.
Didn't the Prime Minister say by 2025 the airport would have been accomplished? Didn't the Prime Minister say that? Huh? Didn't the Prime Minister say, come in front of his people and say, guys, in 2025 we will have an airport? Not true. Next year is 2025. You know that, right? Next year is 2025. Okay. We see in tarmac, no, we see a little tarmac somewhere. We see buildings being built. No. Okay. All right then.
That you will see us ramping up activity, particularly because we're in the hurricane season and we can get rain, and that is likely to affect our progress. But, Mr. Speaker, it is quite evident
that is not the case.
That there's a drastic decline in activity.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that, sir? No, I just have eyes.
It's called objective reality, brothers and sisters. The great book says, he who have eyes, let him see. And he who doth not have eyes, he cannot see. But it's interesting that there are people with eyes. They see, but they choose not to see. Boy, what a that lay right there.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we don't deal in speculations in the House, right? So we're going to deal with some facts. Mr. Speaker, I want you to follow me down this road for a little bit. And something that you can, I'm sure that you will be able to appreciate. Mr. Speaker, $600 million of our money spent so far. We're projecting to spend over $1.6 billion.
Wait a while. Wait a while, guys. To me, they said it was less than $1 billion. Then they said it was 1.1 billion. Then they said it was 1.3 billion. And now it's 1.6 billion. Really? Guys, don't you find it? Maybe it's just me. Guys in the live chats, please let me know right there. Is it just me? Am I delusional? Am I? Really? Really?
Why was it so hard in the beginning of this project, or even prior to the beginning, for our administration to create a financial...
By the way, guys, I have the documents from since 2022. I have I suspect one of the individuals sent me the copy of the budget. I wonder if I should show it. Guys. Anyways, let's continue.
Facility.
I have it. And it does not cost $1 billion. It doesn't even cost 300. Let me not exaggerate because I saw the total at the bottom. It doesn't cost more than $500 million, guys. It doesn't. So where the $1.6 billion coming in? They literally have the breakdowns of everything in 2022. When I watch the thing, and they have the total at the bottom. I don't even think it's past $300 million, but it's not passing $500 million. And he's telling me the airport costs $1.6 billion. Maybe I have the wrong people, man. I have the wrong people.
At the aid bank, or at one of the credit unions, we spread it around, maybe NBD as well. Create a facility where, let's use truckers, for an example. Create a facility and ask the truckers to come up and say, hey guys, we're going to start the airport.
I think he saw my reaction when I was I had a podcast with Loic Honoré on that basis where Loic was like, well, why don't the government see it fit so that, well, he's going to explain it right there. We pretty much had that whole conversation, so I'm suspecting that's where he got that information from. Anyways, let's continue. Or it could be just simple logic right there, simple reasoning. We have truckers in Dominica. You say our truck's not good. Okay, fine. Tell the truckers that we are doing a project. I want you guys to get this stuff to come in. Let us write a proposal so we can go to the bank and get loans so we can buy trucks. Obviously, we know that we have the jobs. When we have the jobs, money will flow and we will be able to pay back the banks the monies because we have the money flowing. It's simple, brothers and sisters, when you put in forth the very people that have voted you in, allegedly voted you in to do things for themselves. It's very simple, but anyways, he's going to break it down for you guys right there.
$1.6 billion. In a year, we start in the airport. In 6 months, we start in the airport. We're creating a facility at the bank where you will have access to finances.
Simple.
Right? To go to China, Europe, United States, Germany, wherever, and purchase equipment, trucks, providing that they don't already have it. And give them access to an interest-free loan and allow them to bring these equipment down to Dominica duty-free.
And not just that, let's say the government or the banks want to make money, because obviously you're going to be taking money from the bank. So the bank wants to do what? They want to make money. So you could do, okay, if you are able to pay back these monies for these trucks in 6 months, you will have it without any additional taxes or anything of that, any interest of that sort. There will be no taxes on that if you are able to pay. So that provides a incentive so the truckers can even work harder to even make the airport build much faster, brothers and sisters. Don't you think that's a good thing? Because when you provide incentives for somebody to be able to get something for free, that helps them to do what? Do better and to do it much faster and quicker and more efficient. Because it's not just rushing work. You have to do it efficiently as well. Let's continue.
So that they could meaningfully participate in the construction of the international airport. What was so difficult with that?
Simple.
To this day, Mr. Speaker.
By the way, guys, sorry for stopping so much, but I must make mention, there are 100 of you guys in the building right now. 25 likes, man. Can you guys click the thumbs up button for me, please? Guys, I love to do it, yes, but it will be nice that you guys click the thumbs up button. It doesn't take much to do that, man. Just click the thumbs up button for me. I would appreciate that right there. Yes, guys. Anyways, let's continue right there. Let's continue.
There is no active, meaningful local participation at the international airport.
None.
No, Mr. Speaker, I'm not talking about the few workers we have doing general construction labor. I'm not talking about the young people we have on the road in the sun and the rain and the mud directing traffic. And I'm not speaking about the gentlemen and ladies who have had to park their trucks, the trucks that they own, park it and go and drive for somebody else. I'm not talking about that.
Boy, that is truly right. How Dominicans not seeing that the very government that they elect is working against them. The foreigners are making way much money. You out there directing traffic. That is the job, and they will put you as somebody who's working at the airport. We have 5 people on the road directing traffic. That is the jobs that they're saying that Dominicans can get, when the truckers who are doing, the people who own the trucks and all these people are the ones making most of that money. Which makes me wonder, are the trucks government owned? And if the trucks are government owned, wouldn't that mean that the government is then renting the trucks? It's not too far-fetched to believe that, guys. It is a huge possibility that the government is renting the very trucks that they bought. The white trucks that they bought or they brought in, renting it to the airport so that they are able to make money on top of it. Again, it's not too far-fetched. Why? Because Domlec could buy their generation capacities. True, they could buy it. I listened to the former manager. She said what was needed, right? Domlec could buy that. Domlec was boasting how much millions of dollars they were making a year and all these kind of things there. So they could definitely buy it right there. Instead, the government went and do what? buy the generator and capacities or rent whichever from the United States, wherever they got it, and then rent it to Domlec. I mean, come on. What does it? I mean, people. No boy. People can't. No boy. People can't be that blind. Anyways, let's continue.
And Mr. Speaker, I'd like your help to clear up something for me. I heard in a press conference that we had 300 and something employees. Yesterday, I heard that we only have 150. Did we fire 150 of them?
Well, I mean, that would be the case. If you had 300 and something and now you have 100 and something, it's either they never existed or maybe they badly count or they fire individuals. Therefore, we need answers for that, because you cannot just constantly come and lie to the people and just let it go, just go like that. Because if you constantly lie to the people and the people just allowing it to go, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to continuously lie and sometimes make the lie much better than the others, making you believe the lie. Human beings are creatures of repetition, guys. If you are constantly bombarded with some particular thing, even if you know it's a lie, sooner or later you'll gradually believe that maybe that thing is actually the truth. What is happening in Dominica, brothers and sisters, the very citizens themselves are living a lie. And I see that across the world. They are living a lie. Boy, humans. Boy, God, boy. Hey. When the great book says humans are sheep, it might not be physically true, but that is a literal mind statement. The human mind is like a sheep in order of advancements, brothers and sisters. Well, there was advancement back in the day because mankind used to utilize the earth and understand energies of the earth and this kind of things. There today, man checking, no, that doesn't exist.
They're on vacation, what happened?
Boy.
Who's right? It's confusing, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, how many of our... Mr. Speaker, I would go so far, you know. I would go so far because they are my friends. If that facility was available only to supporters of the government, it would still be fine. It would still be fine.
But it's non-existent. Even if it was for only DLP supporters, it'll be fine because at least Dominica getting the jobs. And obviously these Dominicans are then going to do what? They're going to circulate that money that they get in the country. So that would be fine. That would be nice. But that is not the case. Majority of the money is going back overseas. And when it leaves Dominica, who knows how much cut the government is getting because of that $1.6 billion. Me you telling that for airport?
Because, Mr. Speaker, it would mean that Dominicans can participate profitably, not just accepting to be hewers of wood and carriers of water. Mr. Speaker, let's talk about our local financial institutions. How many banks in Dominica, credit unions, have portfolios at the international, portfolios that are being paid from proceeds from work at the international airport? How many of them have trucks? People take loan to buy trucks at our banks.
Oh, okay.
People take loan to buy equipment at the banks, at the credit union. Do we know? How many portfolios?
0. I see.
$1.6 billion of Dominica's money. And our banks and our credit unions can't participate. How are we spreading the wealth around, Mr. Speaker?
How we spreading the wealth around, brothers and sisters? How? When the money goes overseas, how are you going to spread the wealth around? You think you're going to go outside and then scare them, go to take a cut, and then bring it back in Dominica? You saw? Okay. This is one of the reasons why I love Grenada, brothers and sisters. Grenada have the standard embedded into their politics. Their politics is saying, no matter who comes, we invite investors to come in. Doesn't matter who comes, 70 to 80% of that workforce has to be Grenadian. Not might. It has to be. But here we're seeing Chinese come and build establishments so that they can do the work that Dominicans themselves can do. And we're wondering why there's mass migration taking place in Dominica. No boy, all you wicked. All you wicked.
How are we ensuring the security of a financial sector if we're not allowing them to participate? 100 and something trucks in Wesley, and none of them is owned by the bank or the credit union? Nobody can benefit from it? Is that acceptable, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, there seems to be a war on the private sector
Of course.
and the middle class. Because, Mr. Speaker, if you cannot participate and your local talent and your indigenous talent is not being used,
Wait, what's going on here? Oh.
your middle class disappears and your private sector struggles. Mr. Speaker, in the last decade, how many local businesses have had to close their doors? Simply because it was just too difficult to do business in Dominica. The business in Dominica became, it just wasn't viable anymore. How many
Guys, oh my God in heaven, have mercy on my... I don't know. Because we're looking at the economy and then scary them. Miss Wenham them will come and say, Dominica is bright and creamy. Then Melissa on the other hand talking about brothels and jobs. And you're looking at the amount of businesses that closed, brothers and sisters. There was a yellow paper with about 115 or 125 jobs that closed in Dominica within the past 10 years. That was back in 2014. That's back in 2014, brothers and sisters. I remember tallying jobs, brothers and sisters. At least 2 jobs were closing every month in Dominica. 2 jobs were closing every month in Dominica on average. This year, far less from since 2014 to 2024. And all you're telling me is me that talking dog on the country.
businesses had to close? Mr. Speaker, I want the private sector
According to the lady in the background, bright and creamy.
is I want the people. Where's the manufacturing industry? What is the status of our manufacturing industry? What is the state of our tourism product? What is the state of our agricultural product? Mr. Speaker, with billions of dollars worth of work happening in Dominica right now, with Dominica's money, what is the state of our construction and service industries? The private sector is disappearing. And with it,
The middle class.
the middle class
Of
will
course.
disappear. That's your tax.
Guys, I never watched up to that point. I probably saw like about 5 minutes of that video. Guys, the reason why I know the middle class is vanishing, because the same thing I'm seeing in the United States. The middle class is vanishing right in front of people's eyes, man. Boy, tell you, boy. Tell you, boy. Oh my God in heaven. I understand the great book, brothers and sisters. When I mention the great book, I'm talking about the Bible. The Bible indicated that even if a man were to come from the dead, he were to raise you. Know that man die, he bury, and he raise again. And he come and warn the people about what was happening, what will happen. The people still will not believe. Far less for somebody who's alive. And people have the objective eyes to see objective reality. And they still say, well, that's not my business. No, that's not my business. But they don't know that it's slowly creeping up to them. Just like the hospital. People complain about the hospital, say, hey guys, we need this, we need that. Nurse complain and say, we need this, we need that. Everybody complaining. The government come and tell you, no, we having a meeting, everything is solved. That lie, they lie. And then you not realizing, but with the lie, they lying for you. Even though you seen it, you don't realizing it. One day your family gets sick and goes to that hospital. And in going to that hospital doesn't have the equipment that you need. But you so love your government, you're blind to the fact that the hospital doesn't have the equipment. And that family member you love so much, alas, you would give your life for that person. And that person dies. That person could have been alive today if they had the proper equipment, if the people held the officials accountable. When a man can come on stage as prime minister, it's something like the health minister, guys, but prime minister of the country, and telling you he can send his family members, boy, the man coming and tell you he can send his family members overseas, his supporters, It's one thing you come on radio and say that, guys. But you in front the very supporters that put you there or help put you there. And you telling them as Prime Minister that you can send your children overseas for better medical attention, then asking them, what about you? Boy, no boy.
Base. And speaking of tax, we heard the Minister of Finance talk about, we're going to go. Mr. Speaker, we heard the Minister say that we're going to go and collect the taxes that are owed, and rightfully so, Mr. Speaker. Legally, if you owe taxes, you have to pay. That is the law, right?
Well, that is the added law, because by right, people should not be paying taxes. I see somebody saying, let us listen to the presenter a little longer. If you guys want, I can send you the video. Because this is a reaction. Okay, I'm reacting to certain things and give my views, and you guys give your views as well. But on the basis of that, brothers and sisters, taxes were not meant to be paid by people. Can you imagine you paying taxes on your salary? And on top of paying taxes on your salary, you then have to pay taxes on the goods that you buy. Is either you make us pay taxes on the goods that we buy, or you make us pay taxes on the salary, but not on the goods that we buy. Are you paying double taxes? Make it make sense, brothers and sisters. Make it make sense. Nick Rondura, big up yourself one time. Philson, George, very good points and being raised. Yeah, definitely. This guy, man, if this guy decides to run, man, I behind him. I no doubt about it. Jerry Nelson, since they came in power, every year we go in downhill. Yeah, that's a fact. The government a bunch of liars. Why? They constantly lie because the people are allowing them to be liars. The people are not holding them accountable to the things that they say. Even Tupac himself say we need to hold our officials accountable and our musicians accountable to the things that they say. Interesting. Jerry Nelson, Mr. Speaker, knows the truth. He crossed the floor. Yeah, he gets his position. So then they bought the very man that is supposed to hold the government. Boy, to be fair, Mr. Speaker, on Parliament campaigning on DLP team, and you expect him to be fair in the House? Boy, let's continue.
Mr. Speaker, what is the status of unpaid checks at the government of Dominica?
LPUs.
How many vendors are owed? Local suppliers, how many of them are owed? People who have provided services to the government, how many of them are owed now, presently, by the government?
Good question right there. But when you owe the government, no. Is it not a story? Philson George is asking, who is he, Mr. Lix? This is Delbert Paris. He is actually one of the senators brought in by Anthony Charles. I think that's his name. The Marigot. I think they should have put Delbert Paris instead of Anthony. Not to downplay him because, he apparently seems to not get his priorities right. But I think Delbert Paris should have been the one who should really have run in that regard right there. But he's the senator for Marigot right there on the Anthony Charles ticket. Let's continue.
Mr. Speaker, you can't pour from an empty cup. So if we're not able to pay these same people that we're going to collect taxes from, how are they going to pay it? How are they going to pay it? Mr. Speaker, last year we spoke about the ECCB's report of Dominica's increasing economy.
Interesting.
How buoyant it is. In that same report, it was elaborating on how we had a problem with delinquency and with a problem with tax collection. I submit to you again, it's not because Dominicans wicked, it's because they don't have it.
Yep. And the economy has been destroyed by the very people asking for the very businesses to pay taxes. How you destroying the economy and expect the people you want to pay taxes? I'm still strongly against taxes, brothers and sisters. Me and Thompson had this conversation, but there's something wrong in that algorithm right there. And I think they want to push this scope. It seems like they want to push this scope so they can make the people poorer and poorer while they are getting monies, and the money is hardly touching because remember, the citizens take care of the government. You know that, right? To the point where I've even heard that there are people who the people did not vote for. They were campaigning, they lost their seats, but somehow they become quote-unquote advisors to the government. I'm not really sure their titles, but they are getting paid from the public's purse. The people didn't vote for them to be there, but apparently they have made it And I think they are making about $6,500 per month. Can you imagine getting paid $6,500 per month to do nothing? You're just showing up to events and, you know, acting like a unit. Not so. Okay then. Yes, Philson George, he's very good. He's very good. He seems like a man that has his head on. I knew him from college, you know.
Dominica has a lot of money, but it is not in the hands of the people.
Nope. The people themselves cannot even account for it. Can you imagine that?
And the Ministry of Education, Mr. Speaker, we have a lot of interesting things happening there, but one I want you to follow me on. And I'm sure you can understand it, Mr. Speaker.
Let's hope so.
You're a developer now, right? Mr. Speaker, $5 million was budgeted to meet expenses related to the continuation of Dominica Grammar School.
With what?
An ongoing project that
$500
started in 2022. All the geotechnical studies done. Yeah. And I'm sure you can understand it, Mr. Speaker. Because you're a developer now, right? Mr. Speaker, $5 million was budgeted to meet expenses related to the continuation of Dominica Grammar School. An ongoing project that started in 2022. All the geotechnical studies done, all the designs complete. I'm not sure what procurement process was used, but the contract was awarded and the project started. Nevertheless, Mr. Speaker, we are seeing in these schedules, Mr. Speaker, that allocated last year for an ongoing project, we had unforeseen expenses of 527%.
What?
I put it
With I don't get that properly. You guys got that? Maybe it's just me.
Mr. Speaker, that the $5 million that was allocated last year for an ongoing project,
For the project.
we had unforeseen expenses of 527%.
So we had a 527% increase. Now, I know my ear's not hearing properly. Maybe you mean $520 million. That's what it means. An additional $520 million. Guys, am I correct in that regard to say that? Because 520% increase on $5 million. Boy, that's let's continue.
I put it in figures for you. $21.3 million over what we had budgeted to spend. Now, Mr.
So 5 times 5 is 25, yes. So 500. Dominicans, when are you going to really wake up? Huh? Overseas voters, when you guys come in, I understand some of you guys get paid. I actually met, let me not say much. But when are you guys going to see that Dominica is going down the drain? Is it because your country that you live in is going down the drain, so you don't want the elevation of Dominica? Maybe, is that it? Or you just don't want Dominica to elevate beyond your status because you left to find betterment. Only with the understanding if Dominica does better than where you actually left to go would make you feel a certain way. So you decide you want to come down to Dominica and help screw up Dominica so that your lives can be better wherever they are. Is that the case? Sometimes I believe that is actually the case, but any continue.
Mr. Speaker, help me. What unforeseen circumstances? What did we not know that we had to pay for that could cause us to spend 527 times more than the amount of money that we had planned to spend on an ongoing project? Mr. Speaker, somebody would say that is madness,
Of
but
course,
I wouldn't
that's insanity.
Mr. Speaker, your contractor on your project could tell you that you have to give him, you have a bill of quantities. Mr. Speaker, maybe you have a 10% contingency, so forth, maybe 15 if you have your pockets deep enough. 527% over what you expected to, on an ongoing project?
Percent with the man city.
What did we not see that we had to pay for? Mr. Speaker, follow me a little bit. The existing two
I think
wings
you got wrong there. Because you say 21 million. So if it's 21 million, that's not 5 because it's 25. So that's 400 and something percent. His stuff. 400 and something percent. Is either I wrong or you wrong. One of them. But 400 and something percent. Because 5 times 4 is 20. So, give or take. We get the point.
Of the grammar school, constructed a few years ago. When the contract came out, this was about over 5.6 million dollars. Let's say under 10. The projected estimate for what is happening now was in the region of about 21, 25. So we're saying total, the project was costed at about $35 million. Now, how is it, Mr. Speaker, that we're having a total historical and forecasted expenditure of close to $80 million? Mr. Speaker, if you add inflation, you add the increase in labor, you add the increase in material, you add all the wars, this just doesn't add up. I'm hoping that somebody can take the challenge to explain and show us with the data why that is so. Why that is so. Mr.
You
Speaker,
think they will do that?
in the area of housing, a lot of interesting things happening here. The housing department seemed to have done very well because they were 58% over what was budgeted. But when you get down into the weeds of it, Mr. Speaker, out of the $109 million that was spent, $80 million was spent on the modern, resilient housing development. So, Mr. Speaker, you know how much was budgeted last year? Don't worry, I'll tell you.
Tell us. Let me go back a little, brothers and sisters. Let me go back a little. Okay. Okay, Philson George. By the way, are you guys hearing me muffled or is my mic okay? Is my volume okay? Philson George, respect scary to wicked. It's not scary, you know, brothers and sisters. Like I always say, sometimes you look at Dominic and say, Dominic, they're taking our lights and realizing what with it is actually scary that pretty much regulating Dominic, you know. They are the ones doing certain things to say, hey, but then there's the IRC and say, okay, we look into IRC and see what's up. No, brothers and sisters, it's scary them that doing that. When you go, brothers and sisters, you can follow the grapevine, you know, you have to find the root. Sometimes we see the fruits and we say, is the tree that doing that? No, brothers and sisters, sometimes you have to look at the nutrients that the tree is being provided with. But because it takes much greater effort to find the roots, we just look at the tree because the tree is easier to blame. Sometimes it's nutrients the tree doesn't have. We need to put nutrients in the soil so the tree can absorb it and then, you know, give us the fruits. Not true. So it's not necessarily saying Skerrit is wicked. Yes, I agree he is wicked, no doubt about it. But the people themselves have a blame to take because they are the ones voting. Well, I still believe majority of Dominicans would want to change. That's why they tend to bring foreigners to come in and till the scale. But there are still people in Dominica voting. Whether you decide you want to say, oh, it's foreigners that are doing it or not. And there are still people who saying, oh, but Skerrit going to win again. Let me not vote. People are literally saying that. They're saying Skerrit going to win again. I'm not going to vote. But the reason why Skerrit them win is because you don't vote. Saying Skerrit them going to win. Can you imagine thousands of people saying, but Miss Slicksburg, what my vote mean? Them man are going to win again. Thousands of people in Dominica saying that way. And not realizing it is their vote. If they contributed to as a unit, that would have tilted the scale to the betterment of Dominica. So it's not the people, they're not scared that wicked. He's wicked, true. But the people themselves are equally as wicked. Those who voting for him and those who saying, boy, my vote doesn't count. They are both wicked. They are both wicked, brothers and sisters. Let me see. Desmond, boy, Dominica have money. Yeah, Dominica have plenty of money, you know, but it's just, you know, where it going? $1.6 billion. Come on. Philson George really don't understand that logic. Yeah. Something is very wrong, man. I think something is highly wrong. Brothers and sisters, don't forget to thumbs up this video. I see a number of you guys are in the building. Don't forget to thumbs up this video and share this video as well so others can get this work. They need to get this work, man. Yes, guys. Anyways, let's continue.
Interesting things happening here. The housing department seemed to have done very well because they were 58% over what was budgeted. But when you get down into the weeds of it, Mr. Speaker, out of the $109 million that was spent, $80 million was spent on the modern, resilient housing development. Mr. Speaker, you know how much was budgeted last year?
You don't know. You wouldn't
Don't
know.
worry, I'll tell you. $15 million. We paying more for the houses. It gets more interesting, Mr. Speaker, because the Minister of Finance told us that we gave out 249 houses last year. But then the minister responsible told us that we gave out 136. So who's right? I'm confused. And if we gave out less, that means we should have spent less money. So how do
Facts. I like that boy.
we explain this extreme over expenditure?
Simple logic that there. Simple. You say this, somebody else say that. What is the actual total? If that is the actual total, then the monies that was spent, where did it go? What the difference? What did the difference money? Guys, I'm actually looking for the thing right there so I can send it to you guys. The 2023-2024. 470 pages.
Mr. Speaker, I'm talking about the estimates that I was given. These are not my numbers. Couldn't fix them. I just have eyes. But the ministers responsible can help us, Mr. Speaker. That is why I'm asking for your help. Tell us how we got here. How did we do that? When we're having areas where we're spending nothing at all, but we have a largest somewhere that we can spend over 500 times the amount that we.
Doesn't that sound like money laundering, guys? Is that money laundering, or am I tweaking? Am I tweaking?
That was allocated. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure somebody will help me. Mr. Speaker, it would be interesting to find out what is the cost per square foot of one of these houses or apartments. Because from my research, and I told you, all of these contractors are my friends, we talk on a regular basis, the guys are getting about $260 to $280 per square foot. The actual going rate is $100 more than that, and more in some cases. But, you know, love of country, we can give the country a little discount. So, Mr. Speaker, if we're using the bottom figure, how is it that we're having so much expenditure? So much over expenditure? Is it that we don't know what's happening? Or is that we're the only ones experiencing, or we just experiencing inflation there alone? I beg him for your help, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
You asking the Speaker of the House about inflation? You asking Joseph Isaac about inflation? Joseph Isaac. Joseph Isaac calling the bakery.
according to the minister,
Yo.
he was forcing us to agree, and maybe I should agree with him. We all agree that housing is more than just four walls and a roof.
True.
It's a cornerstone of stability, security, and a catalyst for growth and prosperity. If we all agree to that, Mr. Speaker, why are we withholding the people titles? We promised to give them titles for the houses and the apartments that they're in.
Since Reginald Austri, guys, Reginald, I was saying that they have the titles on the Attorney General's desk. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I want to be wrong in that regard. But since Reggie was saying that, brother and sister, to today, how long Reggie has been out? And titles still will come to the people, not in 2020. Was it 2020? I think Syria was saying 2020 or 2022 or something of that sort. But it doesn't take much, brothers and sisters. They say it have Rona and this kind of situations happening. Sure. If it have Rona and these situations happening, it preventing you from printing paper to tell you, okay, that's the title, and then stamping it. That is the issue. You can print the paper, put these people's names on it and stamp it to say, hey guys, and give them a proper title that they can take to Inland Revenue, take to the bank or whatever. No. Or you're just trying your best to say, hey guys, you get titles, but then keeping the people in hope so that they constantly vote for you. They waiting donkey years for title for you to give them, but you don't give them no title. They keep voting for you because they want the title. Not true? Isn't that an agenda? Just like how they say they're not appointing teachers or taking teachers there for donkey years, 8, 9, 10, 15 years and not getting appointed. Okay. Because when you appoint teachers, it's harder to fire them. Therefore, teachers can speak their minds freely. Not true? And when they can speak their minds freely, you can't just fire them for speaking their mind freely. They're appointed. Yeah, it's also all a system, eh?
So if we can agree that it is more than four walls and it is a catalyst for growth and prosperity, why are we preventing them from owning the titles?
Yep.
Maybe, Mr. Speaker, we want to keep reminding them on the nice
Lord
laminated
giveth.
plaque.
The Lord giveth. I sure that you can see. Because I remember reading that on the paper. Let's see.
Of Job
Of course.
1:21.
I did a reaction on that, guys. Somebody sent me a letter of them receiving a house, and on the paper mark, the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. Then I asked myself the questions: who exactly is the Lord? Is scared themselves who give in the house is calling themselves the Lord? The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. But the very thing that is talking about giving and taking is not his duty to give and take, because it's the very citizens' money that is putting that forward for them. But it doesn't seem like the citizens know this. It doesn't seem like they know this at all.
That the good Lord giveth and taketh away.
Why would you put that in a letter that you're giving somebody? Brothers and sisters, if I give you a gift, I'm giving you a phone, and I say, I'm giving this to you, but read this letter. And in the letter, it is saying, the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. What will cross your mind? What could ever cross your mind? There's no context in that regard. It was just that right there. I saw the letter myself, I read it and I posted it online. So what would cross your mind that maybe that means I can take the phone I give you away from you? Just like when people give people gifts. I give you a gift, okay, all you nice today, next week all you vex, hey, give me back all the things I give you. Not true? Okay.
Mr. Speaker, under the Ministry of Health, we had a lot of fun things happening here with data that was private. Minister mentions of areas and strides that they have been making under the Ministry of Health. A lot of it wasn't provided for. I didn't see it. And I mean, that minister can make a dollar stretch, because $11.6 million allocated to the Ministry of Health. Now, Mr. Speaker, it must not be misconstrued that the Ministry of Health is a productive sector, because it's not somewhere that you're expecting to see returns, right? But it's an area that people are expecting investments to happen that can increase the level of performative healthcare. $11.6 million allocated, only $4.2 million spent. And we out here seeing a whole bunch of things. We also heard the minister touting that there has been growth in the provision of performative healthcare because of some recent statistic that he got from the OECS. But it is interesting, Mr. Speaker, and we must not minimize that. You know why? Because last year, during the same budget experience, the same budget process, the people of Dominica complained about challenges that they were having for them and their families when trying to access health care. And Mr. Speaker, the people were ridiculed. They were told that they're overdoing it, and Dominica has first-class health care offered by state-of-the-art facilities. Mr. Speaker, now the minister is coming back to confirm that the people were right, that actually we may have been at 30%, 25%. We actually were doing really poorly. And Mr. Speaker, he never apologized to the people.
Of course not. Because it's a narrative. They put this narrative out there. They might have a big fanfare about it. And then if it turns out that it's not true, they might come somewhere, maybe on the side of the road, and say, that was wrong. And then hopefully it pass on. Or they go on a radio station or something, and they at a time that people don't watch. And then they say, well, I said it, it's not my fault you didn't listen to the radio. Not true. Anyways.
For the pain and suffering that they endured, and the ridicule that they had to take for complaining about not having access to the state-of-the-art healthcare that they were promised. So, Mr. Speaker, I will apologize to the people
myself apologizing to all it we. Yes, I sorry all the government to put this state-of-the-art service that is needed in the state-of-the-art building. When they're talking about state-of-the-art hospital, I'm sure they never really thought about the service that it was offered. Not true. Might be in nice-looking buildings, just like in Portsmouth. I'll never forget that. I find that mind-boggling. In Portsmouth, they claim that they have a smart hospital. When you ask them, how is it smart? They're talking about motion sensor lights. You know, the AC can probably adapt to the environment. They have solar panels on top the roof. They're not talking about nothing about actually having devices that can do better, you know? Maybe they have machines that can do operations on you without. I'm just far-fetching right there. AI, brothers and sisters. Maybe they have AI, you know? When they're talking about smart hospital in Portsmouth. Because that's what they call it. Hey, we have smart hospital. Try doing an operation in Portsmouth. Go ahead. Try doing an operation down there. And see how well that work out for you in this smart hospital.
To everybody that lost loved ones.
I just spoke about that way. I just spoke about that way, guys. Oh well.
And suffered, maybe unduly, during this 30% era last year. My condolences.
Yeah.
To everybody that felt like they were ignored and they were not paid attention to. The right process wasn't followed. I'm very sorry. Because we were doing very badly last year.
Very.
And I hope that God will continue to strengthen you and your families as you continue to recover from whatever incident that you may have had to endure in our healthcare service. Mr. Speaker, I'd also like to send a big thank you to the members of the health fraternity in Dominica. I want to tell them thank you because they go through a lot because they take their profession seriously. Tough working condition, late nights, early.
Tough working conditions with mediocre pay. I will never forget when the nurse tell me that she cannot go to the bank with her salary and go and get a mortgage for her to build a house. They tell her that she don't have enough money for her to do that. She need to have a husband or something of that sort. Somebody that actually have another salary to implement so that they can put it forward so she can pay. Can you imagine that as nurse, brothers and sisters, nurses in the United States making bank? They're making bank. One of my friends making $63 an hour. An hour. Another one making 54 an hour. Mankind in Dominica. What? How much? 75, I think 75 is about, what, $300? Can you imagine making 300? Well, that is 75. So 50, 51, 133. Can you imagine making $133 an hour in Dominica? EC dollars. That is 50 US an hour. Nurses in New York making 63 and 53. I bring it down for you guys to $50. That's $133 EC dollars an hour. Some of you making that in a week. You're making $133.
Mornings. Sometimes without the supplies that they need and they're still pushing forward. I want to tell them thank you. I don't want to tell them
they were just giving kudos to the nurses. I remember the nurses did a wonderful job during the Rona. Give them a raise now. Didn't they say they were going to do something nice for the nurses? What exactly did they do for the nurses, guys? I would really like you guys to, guys, in the comment box, let me read some of your comments right there. But please answer me this question. What did the government do for the nurses? I'd really, really like you guys to let me know right there. Hold on, I'm setting up something. Okay. Let me see. There's Bonboni through that. Vena Roberts asked them how much was paid from last year budget. They will not answer these questions. That's all what Delbert is doing right now. He's asking them questions. That's the thing I don't understand about the debate. If you're asking questions, shouldn't these questions be answered? Shouldn't they be answered, guys? I think it should be answered. But maybe they're like, hey, they don't answer senators. Maybe Fields and George noticed they would say Lennox is troublesome, but here is someone else trying to understand what are they trying to say. Much. They cannot say much, guys, because that's just how it goes. Desmond Bonny, let me see, of course, that money laundering. Yeah, it's definitely money laundering. It sounds like money laundering to me. Richie, after everything the senator is saying, at the end of the day, who is going to hold the powers that be? That is one of the questions I've been asking individuals that come on the podcast. We talk about elections and this and that. We talk about, okay, great, we have these things in place, we have the laws in place. That's one of the questions I ask Mr. Glenroy Susu Coffee. Yes, we know there's a situation involved with the people who are abusing the system, the justice system. Who is going to hold them accountable? The only question, the only solution to that is the people. But when the electoral reform people or whoever, the opposition, who are either in power or not in power, are saying, guys, people, let's come together. And I'm expecting to see at least 10,000 people there, because it's affecting them. They say that's 70,000 people in. At least 10,000 people, at least 10%, 7,000 people there. We have a measly 400 people there. Really? And we expect, we wonder why Dominica not going forward. Brothers and sisters, Dominica could be flying across the ocean. Dominica has the vast, dead smack in the middle. Dead smack in the middle. We had the nature of the Caribbean. Is as if God put us right in the middle for us to do great things. And we have leaders that screwing it up. We have people just letting leaders screw us over. Boy, only truly something else, boy. Jerry Nelson, no title, it's government property for votes. Phil St. George, this Dominica is really a planet. It's a solar system right now. Dominica is a solar system. Boy, let's not reach the universe level, please. Shannon Cadet, the nurses don't even have insurance. That's another thing too. Nurses have to organize their own insurance. You think they care about all you? Okay then. Let's continue, guys.
Nothing to offer them. More than some courage, but to remind them that all of us in Dominica, we're counting on them. Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Finance mentioned another major advancement in healthcare. The new information management system that will begin very shortly. $15.4 million. The Minister of Finance said that the contract was already awarded. But, Mr. Speaker, it is not provided for.
7 more minutes.
It is not provided for in the estimates. It is twice the amount of the allocation for the Ministry of Health this year, and it is not reflected in the estimates. Why is that, Mr. Speaker? Was there a tender process? Why is this $15 million not provided for in the estimates? And also,
guys, who is going to answer these questions, man? Who is going to answer? Will the government, will the people who are in charge of these things answer them? Because apparently it doesn't seem like there's no sort of rebuttal in that regard. There's a debate, true, but who's going to answer these questions? Do they have to? They don't have to. If the people are not holding them accountable, do they have to answer the questions? The very questions that are questions on people's minds. Boy, I tell you, boy.
Also, Mr. Speaker, why is it secret? Why is it a secret that the contract was awarded? And to who, which company? Was there a tender?
That's a good question. And to who, which company? You're offering contracts, at least let the people know what's up. Why? Because then again, you could be money laundering. You could be doing money laundering. Like I indicated before, you could have a bridge. A bridge might cost $5 million to build. You come out there and you tell the people, oh, it's going to be costing $15 million. Then you try to build a bridge for $3.5 million. and then you clock the $11.5 million. But if you send that money overseas because you say it's $15 million for it, then how can you trace that money? If the money was within the country, you'll be able to trace that money to see where that money is going. But if it was other ones getting the money, you send the $15 million to them. Not true. The people come in and they build the money, they build the bridge, and then you get your cut outside, wherever you put in your money, offshore accounts, you put that money wherever, that business also gets their cut. Not just the $3.5 million that they would take to build the bridge, they would also get more on it. So therefore, the people are the ones paying the price for that, and then the people saying, "Oh yes, we trust our government." Brothers and sisters, there are codes going around, and you can Google it for yourself. If you trust the government, you are a fool. If you put your hope in government, brothers and sisters, you are a fool. It is the people, because the government's duty is supposed to be, what is supposed to be is not necessarily what is. There's a huge difference between doing what you need to do and then doing what you think you should be doing. And that needing to do is to hold the government accountable. But apparently people are not doing that, and they're wondering why the country not going forward. Sometimes people are happy with the mediocrity that they're in, because they are so accustomed. This is like a level of brainwashing. We're seeing a level of brainwashing literally happening in Dominica every day, where the people are, that is how it is. It's worse elsewhere. They will tell you, oh, it's worse elsewhere. It's worse in other countries. Worse where? Brothers and sisters, Dominica was not the last in the Caribbean. Huh? How Dominica been smack that in the middle and be one of the last, is the last in the Caribbean? St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that was last week. St. Kitts was at the back of Dominica. Antigua was coming up behind Dominica. No, these places are far surpassed Dominica, and you tell me it's bad in other countries. Boy.
Process, why is this $15 million not provided for in the estimate? It's just things we want to know. It's just things we want to know, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the cannabis industry.
Boy.
The cannabis industry.
That's how they even talk about that.
We heard about the launching of the new cannabis industry, a sustainable industry with significant potential for...
Guys, that cannabis industry thing hurt me. Because I remember seeing the proposal, and you guys know there was a proposal that went out to Mr. Lennox Linton, and there was a proposal that went out to Skerrit as well. I remember Skerrit, and I saw the proposal myself. I saw it. I saw everything, to the point where I saw the amount of workers that was needed to fulfill what Dominica's potential can be in the cannabis industry, supplying cannabis. In its infancy, in a multi-billion-dollar infancy, brothers and sisters, in its infancy. I watched Skerrit, Roosevelt Skerrit. Why is his middle name? I don't know. I watched Roosevelt Skerrit come on stage and tell the people that the cannabis industry is not an economic growth for Dominica. Brothers and sisters, Dominica can just stop doing everything and just go on cannabis, and Dominica's economy will skyrocket. Dominica can stop doing everything else and just go into the cannabis industry in its infancy, and not now. Back then had less competition that they were in, because people were removing the illegal status on it, you know, or having certain consumptions, kind of things there, you know, on it. So it wasn't, you know, people still had their little taboos. I will talk to one individual about that. It's very interesting. I will see if I can get Mr. Henry Shillingford to come through and talk to us about that vibrations right there. We'll see how that goes, guys. We'll see how that goes. He's a lawyer, attorney at law. He's also a Rasta. So it'll be interesting if I can get that view of him right there. But even the consequence, guys, you know what? I talk in place. Let me go back. All you get my point.
generating revenue. But Mr. Speaker, also, maybe the minister can help me. I don't see a provision for it. Do you have any provisions for it? No, we can't pay. Quiet.
So Laurie, I saw Laurie that the back talking there. We campaigning. So they're trying to say they're doing things, but they have no provisions at all for it. Maybe they're saying that they're going to do things because they're going to do it themselves, not necessarily for the people. They're just telling you guys this is something that we are going to do for ourselves, not for the people. So we're telling you that this is going to be there, therefore there's no provision for it. How you telling you're going to introduce something and there's no provision for it in the budget? Make it make sense. That's all you. I'm just here to put this out, eh? Put this forward.
Mr. Speaker, if we're serious about it, why are we not making financial allocations for it? Mr. Speaker, that is why in the beginning of my presentation, I asked you if we should be referring to this.
Yep.
Because if we shouldn't be referring to it, then we can just have a chat.
Yep.
But if we're here to take on a serious process, Mr. Speaker, and you give me documents to review, I should be using it as a reference, right?
Well, maybe it's for one set, not for all. Because it's very clear, even the very rules that the Mr. Speaker sometimes supposed to be following, he himself doesn't know what he himself is doing. He has to get the Attorney General to correct him. Remember when he was trying to hold skirt on him at and the Attorney General started. Boy. So, I mean, all this is just Papi Show, guys. Papi Show that there. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let me see. Where was I? Okay. Philson George. They will not answer because they feel they don't have to answer. No one, yeah. But it's the people. When the opposition come and say, hey guys, this is the matter, the people are supposed to come out in the tens of thousands and say, we demand answer us. No. Guys, there's almost 130 of you guys in the building. Please click the thumbs up button for me, please. It doesn't take much. Just click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that right there. Let me see. True. Filson. Okay. Karen is saying so much secrecy on things that should be told to the public by right and no accountability. Well, the people are allowing that to happen to themselves here. Guys, it's the people that is doing this to themselves. As much as we can talk, and the opposition can talk, and Lennox can talk, and Thompson can talk, and who else talking, so can talk, and everybody can talk. If the people don't decide, okay, what you say makes sense, and decide, hey guys, let's come together, nothing will be done here. Look, right now, we are in the Prime Minister them wants to put their own electoral reform that will benefit them, not benefit the people. Because I listened to Pastor Randy's electoral reform, and it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense what will create free and fair elections for all. A free and fair playing field for all. But apparently, you know what? You know, they want to put their own thing. Talking about they went to the Attorney General to do things. First of all, the man spent almost $750,000 to Dennis Byron to do thing, to do report. Dennis Byron comes with the report and they squash it. They squashed it. So Dominica just lose $750,000 and we wondering why they cannot pay businesses. Them man just putting money out there, spending it vai. Money is spent and they don't care. Because it's not their money that is being spent. It's the people and nobody making any noise. Ross left. Ross didn't leave because Ross wanted to go now. Ross knew that where it was the best place. All Ross needed was a better airport. That's all Ross needed. Ross didn't mind if he didn't have better airport now. Because people were coming in from boats. People were coming into the Menville airport. People were coming in a number of ways. And they were making it work. They wanted better access. Problem with that, brothers and sisters, when Ross left, they were lying on Dominicans, telling Dominicans Ross coming back to bail and all those kind of things there. Lying to Dominicans. Dominicans were taking out their salaries for them to build back things because they're checking they're going to be getting back that money. Taking loans. All of a sudden, Ross said they're not coming back. And they tried to sue Ross for that way. When the government did not meet the speculations that Ross wanted, even to clear up that area, that garbage that was coming straight into Ross area. Point wrong. They were burning garbage and the smoke was coming to Ross. Not even that they stopped to it. This is one of the reasons why when they went to Barbados, they made the statement, the CEO of Adatalem made the statement that we have finally found a competent government that we can work with. What does that say? It means that the government that they're working with for majority of the time was not competent, and therefore we have an incompetent government running things, and we're wondering why. but it's the people that voting for them. Guys, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that right there. We're coming in for the very close, so let us just listen to what they have to say right there. I'll get to some of your comments in a moment.
We should all be using it as a reference. The cannabis industry, Mr. Speaker, we have to make provisions for it. But it's also interesting, Mr. Speaker, because all of a sudden now, we're Christopher Columbus and we discovered the cannabis industry. When 6 years ago, there was a gentleman that stood right there and presented a comprehensive plan regarding the development of the medicinal marijuana industry, and he was ridiculed and scorned for it. I think comments were made that, there's no benefit.
Yeah. And Scary came on podium and tell the people there's no benefit. There's no economic growth. No, they want to come in it. No, when there's serious competition.
There's no benefit.
Brothers and sisters, there's something I miss saying. I had to say that I saw the amount of workers that were needed. Dominica's population would not have sufficed. They would have to, if all of Dominicans were working in the cannabis industry, we would be employed. Employment will most likely be at an all-time zero. Unemployment would be an all-time zero in Dominica. Zero. To the point where they would need to go and get individuals from overseas to meet the criteria for the growth of the cannabis industry. Imagine that. And Scary coming and tell people on podium that cannabis is not a growth factor, growth engine in Dominica, boy. No, they want to go back to it and they don't even make provisions. They probably don't make provisions, like I indicated before, most likely for them to do it. Remember when they were saying they're going to make Dominica a Bitcoin place? And we wondering, but wait, brothers and sisters, why electricity going up? When we have people coming from overseas, this is just my own speculations. I don't know if that is the case, but I know about Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin mining, it requires a lot of energy. Could it be possible that somewhere in Mount Daniel, they are actually mining Bitcoin consistently, and as a result of mining Bitcoin, that energy is being sucked up. It sucks up Domlec's energy. Could it be? Because you're not telling me that fewer people were in Dominica before festival. Fewer people, and we were facing shortages. It was after people left, they went and get generators. You know that? So they was probably saving up for the people them to come in. And then after festival, they got generators. Not true? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong.
To Dominica now in the cannabis industry. 6 years later, we're here talking about it. Mr. Speaker, not recognizing that we are missing the boat.
Oh, yeah.
We're missing the boat.
Oh, yes.
The opportunity is passing by very quickly, and we're wasting time.
Oh, yes. That is the problem that I have in Dominica. Brothers and sisters, on the elevation of Dominica, Dominicans have been wasting time consistently. Year after year after year after year, every election after election, voting for the same people, hoping for something different. Same thing over and over and over, and they realize time is on our hands. Can you imagine 20 years ago, 10, let's say 15 years ago, we decided we change the government to see what could happen. We decided we change the government, the individuals they bring to overturn the scale of the majority of Dominicans in Dominica, and Dominicans themselves went out to vote. If the Dominicans in Dominica shaking, everybody voting against Scarred, because they want to change. They want to change, Scarred them come out there. And we could see the possibilities that could have happened. But we're not getting nothing, brothers and sisters. 20 years later, we're still in the same predicament. Really? And you think that's okay? Well, if that's okay, then that's okay.
On a transformative industry, as we say. Mr. Speaker, while we're commenting on that, we need to look seriously. If we're going to be benefiting from this industry, we're going to make it legal, we're going to be doing all sorts of things up with it. And then we and our friends are going to make sure that we're positioning ourselves. We need to look at commuting the sentences and expunging the records of men and women who have been arrested and charged and imprisoned for crimes associated with the possession and sale of marijuana in Dominica. Because, Mr. Speaker, it is inhumane to think that we and our friends are going to benefit from an industry, position ourselves well, while we have young men and women sitting in jail
for marijuana. It's interesting that he mentioned that right there, guys. You know who came to mind? Kamala. Kamala, the running president for the Democratic Party, brothers and sisters, the candidate for the Democratic Party for presidency, incarcerated over 1,900 people, 1,900 people for marijuana use. And when she was asked if she ever smoked cannabis, when she was asked that, guys, you know what she said? She said she smoked cannabis before. She did all the different things that she did. But as a sitting judge in California, she incarcerated 1,900 or 1,900 people over and sent them to jail. Not just sent them to jail, you know, guys, but kept them longer than their sentences. Kept them longer than their sentences so that the state could use these black people for more cheaper and free labor. And then Americans will watch me and tell me that it's not Kamala that is a racist, when she never indicated that she was black. She only became black after, you know, she started running for presidency. She was always Indian. If you look in 2010, you will see the very first Indian American senator. Google it, type it in, you know. You will see pop up Kamala Harris. Type it in on Google. Very first Indian American senator. Just type that in and you'll see. That's how she categorized herself. So we've seen all this happening. And now what he's saying there makes a lot of sense. Why do we have people incarcerated for marijuana, yet still we're trying to utilize that industry to make a little money? No, even though we think it's a bit late for that. Serious competition, just like agriculture. The other Caribbean islands have elevated in agriculture. St. Lucia is one of them who elevated in agriculture. And we still struggling. We're still struggling on that behalf. And we don't realize, brothers and sisters, we are wasting time. Dominicans, all you wasting time, precious time. All you wasting. And it's interesting that as I'm thinking of Kamala, her father also responded. Her father responded. I will show that video in a while, guys. If you think I'm joking. Her father responded to that thing about marijuana right there. But we'll get to that in a moment.
For minor possessions. And young men and women that cannot advance themselves because their records show that they are criminal for possessing the same marijuana that's going to grow in greenhouses and put in bottles and sell and export. That is something that we need to look at very strategically.
Absolutely.
Mr. Speaker, you know I love to talk about the CBI. I realize the Minister of Finance didn't have much to say about it, so I'm going to ignore it too. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, youth and culture. Mr. Speaker, no opportunity is spared to criticize young people. No opportunity is spared to say that they're not doing enough, they should be doing more, they should be making themselves available, etc., etc., etc. Everything is on the youth. They are the future, and they are still not good enough for the future. And Mr. Speaker, we mustn't be so barefaced, you know,
and wicked
and hypocrite. Because what we're seeing now, bold-faced, Mr. Speaker.
The bold-face can pass, but the hypocrite, you have to withdraw it, not parliamentary.
Withdrawn. It's expeditiously. Mr. Speaker, this is our legacy. What we're seeing happening with our young people is our legacy. Young people live what they learn.
Yep. If they learn to be lazy or they learn to come and beg scared for money because they see them more than their father doing it. I was going to mention Pampalam, but let me leave that alone. But yeah, we don't see much people working for. We see a lot of people begging. What do you think the young people are going to be doing? Not go and beg too? I heard Melissa talking about brothels and these kind of things there. When they created the very environment that she's trying to push on somebody else. You kill the economy, people trying to get money, so therefore people start selling themselves. You create that environment. You might not have brothels, but you have it all over society.
You have a bunch of seniors and adults and leaders, and everybody want to criticize young people for what they're doing now. But we stood by and watched it happen, and it is our legacy, and now the chickens have come home to roost. We don't like it.
I had a song, brothers and sisters. How can we become good, productive citizens when we see the very people at the top doing the same wickedness How can we become good, productive citizens? I think I should play that song after, I'll play that song after. Let me see if I have time. Let me see how much time I have there. Yeah, I have a little time, man. Let's continue.
Young people live what they learn. We have so much money carded for them. Nothing spent. And Mr. Speaker, it won't be so for much longer because God is a good God.
Oh, yeah.
God is a good God.
Even if
and He will
people
make
wicked.
changes. Young people will not have to fight for crumbs much longer. They will be able to live in a country where they can have hope and they can see a future for themselves, where they can think that they can invest for themselves.
They'll have to leave Dominica for that. So they have to leave Dominica for that, eh?
Young people will see a future for themselves, Mr. Speaker. They will be empowered and they will empower themselves in their own country and not feel the need to run everywhere else just to survive.
Boy.
Mr. Speaker, one day, our Dominican people will finally understand and finally embrace and finally appreciate the fact that the only way for our country to move forward is when the best of us finally lead the rest of us.
Yes.
Thank you.
He said that technically. I like that. Let me play that again.
Just to survive. Mr. Speaker, one day, our Dominican people will finally understand and finally embrace and finally appreciate the fact that the only way for our country to move forward is when the best of us finally lead the rest of us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Facts. I like the ending. The ending was absolute. Guys, give a thumbs up to Mr. Delbert Paris on that powerful delivery right there, guys. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. I would appreciate that, right? Let me see some of what some of you guys are saying right there. Karen is saying, I've said it before on other platforms and I'll keep saying it again. This government does nothing that is in the best interest for Dominica and its citizens. And anything that is done is half-assed. Yeah. The government does nothing, brothers and sisters. Let me put this dark screen. Quinton Peter, see your debate skills. Reach master level since school days, Mr. Paris. Yeah, he's doing his thing, no doubt about it. Shannon is saying, in all the speakers I've heard speak, he is the only one that speaks true facts. Well, there's a lot of them. I've heard that the Marigot lady as well speaks great facts as well. I think I'm gonna react to a video sometime. So keep it locked on that vibrations as well. Guada 9 is saying every government, regardless of its system, is an innocent mirror of the nation. I suspect you listening to Dr. Not Dr. Nah, but what's his name again? I seen his face, Professor Lumumba. Sorry, I can't forget. Professor Lumumba. He said the sentiment like that. Professor Lumumba made the sentiment that the people get what they truly deserve. Dominica is getting what it truly deserves, guys. Because not on the basis that the people deserve that, but the people refuse to do the work that will cause them to deserve something. It's like people saying, I deserve this and I deserve that. I deserve the best husband, but you're not the best wife. How you deserve the best husband? For what reason? I deserve the best house. How you deserve the best house? Why? People have this entitlement thing to them that they deserve, but they don't understand that to deserve means you have to work for what you truly deserve. It doesn't fall from the sky. You want to be the best of men, you have to work to be the best of men. You have to work on yourself. You have to elevate your standing. You have to do what needs to be done before you deserve anything at all. I am a man that strongly believes that you are deserving of whatever you work for. And if you work hard enough, you will deserve the outcome of it. Sometimes you might work hard, but you're in the wrong place. That's another sentiment right there. And sometimes if you're smart enough, you need to work smarter, not just harder. And you will deserve what you get to do. You deserve what you get. That's what my sentiment is. Phil St. George say, what a great presentation. Yeah, he did a wonderful job, and especially in the closing. That was absolutely phenomenal right there. Jaboy, imagine some people will vex with you and make this party politics. Wow, amazing. Yeah. Simple facts, the man spit there. Simple facts. Facts you can actually see with your own eyes. Even if you're blind, Marigot, you will hear people talking about it. You will hear. And if you cannot hear, brothers and sisters, they say, who doesn't hear will feel. So if you know you're in a country that is not elevating, you will feel it. No doubt about it. Objective reality relies on the senses of mankind. Sometimes people have senses, but they don't want to use them. Common senses right there. That's one of the mind. That was beautifully done. Yes, guys, please give the thumbs up. I would appreciate that right there. Mr. Can Speak. Everything was on point. Yeah. It'll be interesting for me to look at the Marigot female, female from the Marigot constituency as well. The senator. Guadanine is saying government is not an independent entity. It depends upon the collective consciousness of the nation. Big vibes right there. Facts right there. But it's the people that have to be reflective in the government, and therefore the people are supposed to hold the government accountable. And if the people are not holding the government accountable, then the people can just do whatever they want. And they don't have to care. They really don't have to care about anything. The speaker used to preach the same thing before he crossed the floor. Yeah. It's very interesting that the Speaker of the House, who is the Speaker of the House today, because he crossed the floor, was speaking that same sentiment true. Saying Skerrit must go. Then he joins Skerrit for whatever reason. It could be. I could be wrong. But it could be because he had debts to pay. And as a result of the economy not doing well under Skerrit, he decided, maybe, I could be wrong, he decided, things not working well, let me join them so that they can pay my bills for me. And as a result of paying my bills, hey, I have to do what I have to do. So I joined them. Wasn't it the same Mr. Speaker of the House that was wanted for what do you call that again? Is it incitement? Not the same one now? What happened with that case, guys? What happened? Oh, okay. Hopefully you guys get the point right there. There's one bone, he says he's tired. Now, guys, I said I was going to share a video with you guys, so let me share it with you right there. So some of you guys understand it's not just me making up stuff, When they asked her if she was Okay, I want you guys to listen to this. Right legalizing marijuana, she said, when they asked her if she was pro-legalizing marijuana, she said, of course I smoked marijuana. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me? Well, her own father had a problem with that. But listen to what she said on The Breakfast Club. You oppose legalizing weed.
That's not true.
I know.
and look, I joke about it, half joking. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?
That is after she sent 1,900 people for a marijuana violation, brothers and sisters. Then admit she smokes marijuana.
You ever smoked?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
Like
And I inhale. I did inhale.
It's real hysterical for the former attorney general of that state to talk about doing something illegal, laughing about it, giggling about it, and trying to get some traction for it. Among the people that were upset by it, her dad, Donald Harris, from Jamaica, an economics professor at Stanford University, says this: my dear departed grandmothers, as well as my deceased parents, must be turning in their grave right now to see their family's name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not, with the fraudulent stereotype of pot-smoking, joy-seeking, and in pursuit of identity politics. Man, what a blast at his daughter who wants to be the next president.
No kidding. He added, and he had sent this statement to Jamaica Global Online. He said, speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically disassociate ourselves from this travesty. The campaign had no comment.
So guys, just know it's not me that making up stuff, okay? The marijuana industry is an industry I think can help a lot of people. I think it has great good. It has great bad too as well, no doubt about it. People can get to abuse the system, true. But when you in two tongues saying certain things, and we've seen the same sentiment in Dominica, the Prime Minister, the officials are in two tongues. First, they're saying it's not an economic benefit 6 years ago. Now, today, they're saying, okay, let's try something. I think, We have to wisen up sometimes, guys. Wisening up is the key here. Okay, you can don't believe me if you want to, but that's still up to you, right there. Anyways, guys, any last words? Let me see what you guys have to say in that regard. What was the point? Who is going to answer this question? Desmond Bonny. That's what I'm asking. Are they going to answer these questions? Because there's a lot of questions that are unanswered. Who is going to answer these questions? Do you guys watch this debate, or you think it's just nonsense? I think it's just when you listen to people like this guy. Let me get it for you. I reacted to it today on Blackmore. I reacted to that video to the guys because Blackmore was talking about fish hitting him on his head. Hold on, let me get that for you. Blackmore say fish hit him on top of his head and was inviting other people to get lick of fish on the head. Boy, Blackmore does freak me out, you know, boy. Where is that video? Okay, look at there. So this is the video, guys. This is Blackmore.
So, the member for Portsmouth, my good friend, spoke about fish. But we have the most fish in Dominica in my constituency, Mr. Speaker. There's no surprise. Last week, you talking about fish. I was sitting by the bay, and some fish just jumped on my head, but I see my bay. So some fish in the place, Mr. Speaker. Talk about fish. Because nothing.
So that is the best that we have, guys. And then we have the lady talking about bright and creamy. Anyways, guys, I think I did my 2 hours. I'm good to go on that regard right there. What are your thoughts, man? It's just unfortunate that Dominica is in the situation it is because of the very people themselves. Yeah, Dominica needs to take some blame for that. The Dominican people need to take some blame for that. The speaker used to preach. Let me see. Okay, I'm tired. Since not Quinton saying since not a common thing. Oh, sense. Yeah, common sense is not a common thing anymore. The ending was like a parable. Read between the lines. Yeah, he's saying the present team sucks and they're not the best. And therefore, the best should definitely get the chance to become the ones who should be in charge of running the affairs of the country. Anyways, guys, about me Slicks, man. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the vibrations and learned a lot from it. I myself learned from the very video themselves. The video itself, the first time I'm actually seeing the full thing as well. I saw like 5 minutes. I was like, yo, I don't want to watch the rest. I want to react to it with you guys right there. So if you enjoy the vibrations, click the thumbs up button if you've not done so yet. And of course, subscribe for more vibrations as they tend to come through. If you guys want me to do the next one of the Marigot lady, let me know. So I'll also do that as well. You guys can also check out a previous one that I did, another live interaction reaction right there. So, but me Slicks once again, guys. Be real, be positive.